Yes, welcome back to the Grave Consequences podcast on the Social Suplex Podcast Network. I am Caleb B, and that's where you can follow me on Twitter. Follow Greg at xmaserati. Follow the show at GC_cast. Follow the Social Suplex Podcast Network at Social Suplex. And today we're reviewing Season 1, Episode 24 of Lucha Underground. The title is Trios Champions. I don't know if Greg has a working title he wants to put on it. I didn't notice anything in particular. We may stick with the run-of-the-mill Trios Champions title, but we will see where things take us. Greg, how are you doing on this lovely, lovely Thursday night, January 21st?
Well, me and you have been talking all day, so you know my day's been pretty shit
Yes.
as far as work goes and just everything else. Ready to call animal control on my neighbor because they leave their dog out till over here. It gets dark at like 5. It's like pitch black outside, and they're leaving their dog out past 7, and all it does is bark. So I'm not having the best day.
Yeah, I can imagine, and I am sorry to hear that. But to brighten your day, I suggested we review some Lucha Underground, and we're reviewing one of the better episodes they've put out so far. Wouldn't you agree?
I would actually say that not to one up you, but I would actually say it's probably one of the pivotal shows of Lucha Underground. Like Grave Consequences is what we named the show. But if this episode had like a special match name or a special name for the episode itself, I mean, we could have possibly named the show after this. Because I think this was also one of the pivotal episodes that pretty much gave Lucha its soul almost.
Yeah, and there's one particular moment in the main event that like immediately made this show a standout.
If you were in the audience at this show, you probably had the time of your life, I would say.
Yeah.
Because this whole...
I feel like now it's on a larger scale, but I feel like the only thing that would compare to that particular moment is one that I went to in person. I saw Edge return at the Rumble last year, but now granted, I wasn't at Boyle Heights for this particular moment we're referring to.
Well, I mean, you can go to a huge concert for a known band, like let's say you're into, I don't know,
Crazy Town.
Well, I'll go a little bit higher. Let's say maybe you go see you go see like U2 or Aerosmith or some huge name band that everyone knows about. Yeah, you're probably going to have a great time. But this is like going to see an indie show or an indie I say indie show like it's like a wrestling, but like this is seeing like a niche band, underground band, and just in a dirty bar, but having the best performance. The crowd's into it, like just having an amazing show that kind of leads people to kind of almost gatekeep. You have such a good time. Like, oh yeah, you love their new stuff, but I was there, at the one show where we were throwing bottles at the bar, whatever. Like this is if you were there, you probably had a time of your life, especially if you were the girl sitting next to Davari.
Oh my God, don't get me started. Yeah. Oh, the cat's out of the bag. Davari's on the show.
Yeah, don't worry. It's you're not
again. It's Davari. Like, yeah, it's not a huge deal.
Do you think? Well, I'll wait to ask this question when we get to it. But I have a question about how you feel about when he gets involved, because I noticed something kind of strange. I think so. We'll see.
Okay. All right. Well, before we get to that, because that's way further down the line in this episode, the first thing we see on this episode is we have Black Lotus talking to the camera, saying, she's still being, she's been kidnapped for like a month, blah, blah, blah. She's still being trained. Her master says she's not ready, but her anger is her biggest weakness. No, it's my biggest strength. So we had that little cliche. We also had her fighting off dudes, so that was cool, I guess.
Yeah. Almost we could almost title this, Black Lotus fails her Tiger Showman's purple belt evaluation, because what this was I just wasn't into it. It's stupid. The choreography was kind of lame.
Yeah.
Is he a luchador or is he a martial artist? They're asking a lot. They're asking for me to turn my brain off quite a bit. And a month,
Hmm.
like, okay, you're not ready for what? They like to implement karate and martial arts into this. It's cool and everything, but I could skip this part. This is a
Yeah.
dumb. I don't know how
Yeah.
you feel about it.
No, I definitely could, especially like I don't know, Black Lotus to me, even though she's all over the show, especially in the later seasons, she's such a nothing character.
You know what? I think I'm glad you said that because is she in any other shows? Like, because I don't. She doesn't look familiar. I don't think I've ever seen her on any other promotion.
Okay, so I knew her as, and it's odd that I knew this because I loved, well, it's not odd that I knew this. I knew this for a reason. I loved like the last year or so of the WWE's ECW, and mainly because Christian was running the whole thing. But she was the ring announcer for ECW. She was her ring name was Savannah, for what it's worth. Run
So
of the mill, generic
she
Savannah.
has she wrestled before or after Lucha Underground?
Not that I was aware of. No.
And I'm not even insinuating she's bad. I don't remember her matches. I don't think she was ever doing anything that like I don't think I've seen a match in Lucha Underground because she is in at least one or two where I
Yeah.
was like, oh, she's terrible. Oh, she's awful. Get her out of there. Like if I remember correctly, she's fine. But this character, like you said, this is a major storyline that I could care less about. Like it's a major
Hmm.
storyline.
Yeah.
They have
No, it is absolutely.
it's just I don't think it pays off. It kind of to me, like you were saying on the one episode, how they were planning on. Did you tell me on the air what they were planning to do with Evilise?
Oh, with what she may or may not have done in the third season.
Yes.
I don't know if that was on the air or not. No.
Well, there should we say it? Well, nah.
No. I know that's a bit of a cock tease for the listeners out
Yeah.
there, but
Well,
sorry,
it'll
we don't want to get into spoiler territory.
maybe we can because it didn't happen.
Okay. Okay, yeah, yeah. They were planning to put the belt on Evil East in the third season.
Yeah, you said in the Aztec warfare.
Yeah, but she had a glass ankle, so they're like, nah, we're good.
Yeah, and if that had happened, like I was telling you, that probably would have been awful.
Yeah.
Because Evilise, and I'll bring it up when we get to the match. Like she was good, but her character is weird. Her character is never really a true face.
Mm-hmm.
And I just couldn't get
At
into
best,
her
an anti-hero.
at best. And it would have been a weird decision to put the belt on her. And this is one of those weird things where I think Lucha Underground kind of they worked real hard to push this. I give them all the credit in the world. They put all their energy into this. But Black Lotus wrestles like twice. So this is kind of like the Conan promos to me. Is that it's a lot of promos for a person that's not going to be in your ring and is not going to be a major star on your show. Why?
Yeah.
I
Who
don't know.
knows, man?
Do you feel the same way? Like I just don't understand this.
Yeah, again, she was such a nothing character to put so much steam behind her and put her in such a big storyline. It seems really weird.
It's just weird that they didn't have her wrestle more. Like I'm serious when I
Yeah.
think she wrestled twice, maybe, and I'm pushing it.
That sounds
twice.
right. That sounds right.
And that match was awesome. Uh,
Mhm.
do you know if there was any reason why they didn't? Maybe they were actually training her to wrestle this whole time. Do you think maybe they were doing that?
Honestly, I have no idea.
That would make sense. But I'll stop slowing the show down.
Hey, you're not. No, it's all good, man. That's why we're here, bro. We take like 30 minutes most week. It's not a bit most weeks. It's not a big deal. Oh, by the way, Sergio Arua playing us in yet again. This one was amazing. Did you notice how awesome this was, man?
They were singing a what song were they singing? They were just singing it in Spanish. It was a regular famous song. Do you remember?
Yeah, I don't know. I
If
don't
we
know, and
heard
I
it,
don't want to guess.
yeah, I couldn't guess, but it was a cover. But yeah, the crowd
Yeah,
loves them. It's kind of cool seeing
yeah,
a band open a show.
yeah. Absolutely, we need more of that.
Gives it kind of like a late night show kind of
Hmm.
feel, like where you're in for a show. I like it. I think it gives
Yeah,
it some flavor.
and another bit of
Some salt, if you will,
detail.
for your
Yes.
chicken.
Yeah, you got to put some salt on the chicken, man.
So Mrs. Dash,
Oh,
that's
yes,
it. No
yes,
more
Mrs.
spice.
Dash.
Yep.
Oh, sorry if that chicken has a little too much kick for you. Added some Mrs. Dash. Oh man, we're so white. Um,
We apologize.
hey, the trios belts were on the announcers table. That was awesome.
They look great.
They do.
I'm gonna
That's
say it.
2 for 2 on belts, by the way.
I think me and you were talking about belts. I'm kind of these belts look better than the AEW tag belts. I think they look better than the WWE tag belts.
Yep.
I can't picture any other belts in my head right now because of the memory issues, but these are nice looking belts.
They're damn good, yeah. Sorry, I said 2 for 2. I meant 2 for 3 because I forgot the original Lucha Underground title, which was but it was really small.
It was kind of weak. I mean, compared to the belt they got later, I think that was just a placeholder in general because their previous belt was.
Do you think they designed that with the intent of like, hey, we're gonna have Cage rip that belt up?
I think what happened was they ordered the belt they wanted and it didn't get there in time. So they, and I'm 100% serious. I think so. They made like a cheapo belt, and they're like, you know what? Once that new belt comes in, we'll do something with it. And then Cage ripped it in half, which was a cool moment.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Like Shaq tearing down a rim, man. First match of the night: Sexy Star versus Pentagon Jr. And before the match started, one detail I loved is like, okay, we're a week removed from Pentagon trying to break Melissa Santos's arm. She didn't forget about that because you could tell in how she announced Pentagon and how she left the ring as soon as he got there. She didn't care for him, doesn't respect him, fears him, but certainly does not respect him.
It's some good attention to detail, week to week, knowing that she could at any moment he could try to break her arm.
Yeah. Man, what the hell? I need to quit writing down. I need to quit watching these shows late at night because I wrote down a sentence that doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Mark was impressed by the power bomb into the lung blower. Am I Mark? Is Striker Mark?
Striker. You're talking about Striker.
Yeah. There we go.
Because this another alternate title for this show might be the Night of the Worst Lung Breakers, because none of them look good to me. Like they all fell before they hit. There's at least 5 lung breaker moves, and every single one of them, the person taking the hit fell to the mat before they landed on the other person's knees. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed that.
No, I did. Now that you mention it, I mean, Sexy Star hit one that looked pretty good in my opinion, but no, now that you mention it, yeah, there was a few that really stuck out.
I think hers might have been the only true lung breaker because she actually did land all of it.
Yeah.
I mean, when the show's I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say another alternate title we could use for this episode is McDojo 2 Electric Boogaloo.
All right, it's done.
Nice.
That's what it'll be.
Nice.
I was going to say Vampiro started off this match comparing it to Sexy Star biting off more than she could chew, being covered in blood in the middle of the ocean at night, and Pentagon being a shark smelling blood. Yep. That's pretty much exactly what this match was. Just Pentagon just playing with his food.
Yeah. And they hit on, I like the commentary points where they hit on like, yeah, she was abused as a kid. She was abused in relationships. Like she's been abused. They didn't, pussyfoot around anything.
Did you see that video of Kellyanne Conway's daughter was recording Kellyanne abusing her verbally and like throwing stuff at her? Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, it's pretty crazy. And it's like it's bad abuse. Like the girl's like just freezing up and just, but that's kind of what they're saying with Sexy is that like she was going through like just Vampiro says abuse since childhood. Like I thought the whole story with Sexy was that she was just in abusive relationships, but Vampiro saying since birth.
Yeah.
So you can bully her, you can pick on her, but she's been through it. So like you gotta if you want to win the match, you gotta put her down. And that's
Yeah.
what Pentagon failed to do.
Exactly. I mean, we're talking multiple power bombs into lung blowers, multiple attempts at breaking the arm. Didn't work out. Eventually, again, Sexy hit that lung blower and then a roll up, huge roll up to get the win. And this was a huge win for Sexy Star, but you get the feeling the feud isn't over.
Yeah, you get the feeling that she was the underdog and she not stole it, but because it was an impressive lung breaker. And this is kind of like why I like Joshi wrestling. Because sometimes when the women do moves that the guys will do, that won't end the match. When it looks like it should end the match when the women do it. And I can't explain to you why. But that lung breaker, like let's say if Trent or Chucky T did it, that wouldn't end the match. Right?
Yeah.
But here, and this was done on a man, Pentagon, and it still looked like it should end a damn match. And it did. I don't know. I don't know how to articulate it, but it's just weird how some wrestlers can do moves that others can't to finish a match. And I like that.
Yeah.
I love it when a strong lariat wins a match. I like it when a tiger suplex win a match. I like that because it means the moves can at any moment you can lose. And with Sexy Star, that's with this match, that's what they're portraying is that she can put you away. Like Pentagon's dangerous, but if you don't take her seriously, she's gonna put you away.
Yeah. I also liked that, when Sexy won the match, Melissa Santos made the announcement and she was very excited. She didn't hide any bias whatsoever. She didn't hide her bias.
Nor should she.
Well, I mean, she's not exuding integrity in that regard because her job as a journalist, as a broadcaster, you got to be a little bit unbiased. But I guess one part of this match did try to break your arm, so maybe I could let it slide.
Are the ring announcers considered journalists?
Maybe not, but they are certainly broadcasters, that's for sure.
They are. Okay. I guess I could see that. I mean, Melissa, as the audience will see, is that she's a character too.
She is, yes.
She's a good character too.
Yeah. She is extremely likable as a character, which tells you that this show is scripted.
Why is she not likable in real life?
Everything I've heard about her leads me to believe that she is not that likable IRL.
Oh, wow. Maybe that's why she refused our cameo request.
That might be. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that could be classified as prejudging. But again, everything I've heard leads me to believe, not so likable IRL. Which I mean, it's your prerogative, I guess. But things will be said. That's all.
It's weird because when I watched not Dynamite, when I watched Impact on Twitch, they have her hosting the Twitches, and the crowd or the audience on Twitch and the channel, they love her.
Yeah.
And there's just chats going up and down about how much they love her. You can't even say anything in the chat because I said something about Lucha Underground. It quickly got buried.
Amazing.
Yeah, people were simping pretty hard.
Those simps. Simping ain't easy, man.
She's still with Cage, so watch him catch you simping to her. You might be leaving in a body bag.
Yeah, highly possible. Oh, by the way, this drops the morning after our Blade episode on Eddie and Caleb's Zerocast. So double dose of Greg and Caleb. That's good, right?
Yeah, I just wanted dead air for it to be more awkward.
Just leave me out in the cold.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, sorry. It was the simping that reminded me of. Vampire simp. Oh, Blade. Good stuff.
It'd be funny if they remade Blade and they actually use terms like nowadays, like Blade. I would love to see Wesley Snipes calling people soy boys and simps.
Wait. So you think Blade would be like an alt-right vampire hunter?
I don't think he'd have to be an alt-right to call people simps. Do you?
That's fair enough. Well, yeah, but you said soy boy.
Well, I mean, new male is a term that was came up from the left, I believe. So
I hate it.
I think you can. No, new male's pretty funny. I'll send you some memes. If you don't know what it means. It's the same thing as soy boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's funny.
Next up, Johnny Mundo's minding his own business, working out in the locker room. And Alberto El Patron comes up and does his best version of my dad, not dying, but rather being a
Oh my
dick.
God.
Being a dick for as long as he can. And then when someone shoves back, he's like, whoa, 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 what's your problem? Like, obviously I love my dad, but he would do that a lot to my mom. And like we even laugh about it to this day, but he would do that a lot. He would, like kind of maybe lightly tease, poke, and prod, do it a lot to the point where my mom would lash out and then he would get indignant about it. And that's what Alberto did here.
It's what you do in the group chat every day.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. But yeah, Alberto's like, man, like, you're in that trios match tonight, right? Oh, wait, no, you're not.
And Patron's supposed to be a
Oh.
face, right? Like, I don't get his character on the fucking show.
I think his character is just that of a dick. Like, I think that's it.
He makes me like Tejano, dude.
Yeah, that's hard to do, man.
He should be a heel.
Eventually, yeah, he should. Eventually,
Naturally,
Johnny's
I
like,
fucking hate him.
yeah, as you should, as we know. But eventually Johnny just gets he's had it. So he's like, hey, be careful. I'm not some guy you can slap around, which direct reference to why Alberto got fired from WWE a few months prior to this. It was like a good little callback.
Patron said something about not being able to reach the brass ring. Because I don't know if this was around that time that Vince McMahon said that. You remember when Vince said it on the Stone Cold podcast about
Actually,
people?
Yeah, I do.
I wonder if this was around the same time because they love taking shots at WWE.
This aired in April, so I'd say it's possible they filmed that because that podcast was done in early December of 2014. So highly possible this came out after or was filmed after.
Because Patron said that, hey, this is your story, Johnny. You can never reach that brass ring. And then Johnny says the line about, well, I'm not just some guy you can slap around.
Yep. Know. And that's when Alberto hears someone like, okay, you talk shit to someone for so long, eventually they're going to send some of the dozens back, and then you get offended somehow.
I don't think he was actually offended. I think he was just mad that he lost the exchange. So he was like, he just recalibrated the conversation like a bully does. Like someone that's a bully in conversations, how they'll he maintained the frame. Like he's framing the conversation like, oh, you're out of line. What do you mean? It's a dick move.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. Absolutely. But after that, we had our main event of the evening, the Trios Finals. We have the team of the whole ass Cowboy Machines. That's right. Tejano, Brian Cage, and Jesus Christ, King Cuerno. Man, I am having a night, I tell you. Then we had Team Havoc, as I call them, of Son of Havoc, Ivelisse, and Angelico. And then we had what I'm calling Rick's family. We have Big Rick, Killshot, and the Mac. And this was lots of spots, man. Spots all over.
This was all high spots, good ones. Like I didn't notice too many people helping each other through their moves. It's just people just landing big shots. And frankly, it was 90% Angelico just getting his ass whooped. Like,
yes.
Almost the whole match.
Mm-hmm. And at one point, Vampiro is on commentary and he compares Tejano's offense to the swing of Reggie Jackson. It's like, what the hell, dude? Like that guy played in like the 70s. That's your problem. And Stryker even calls him out. He's like it's 2015. You couldn't say Giancarlo Stanton. Like, what's your problem?
Yeah, he was right for calling out.
I get the impression that Vampiro probably didn't watch baseball after like the 90s, I would bet.
You might be right.
Like most of America.
He was too busy in vampire cults studying darkness.
He was too busy being a bodyguard for Milli Vanilli.
Any of those lies. Take your pick.
Absolutely. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, at one point the action spills out into the ring, and we alluded to this earlier. And old rich feller, at least that's the impression we get, is ran into by Tejano, and he's had it. Glasses, shirt come off, drink goes down. It's, by God, it's Sean Daivari. And I love the overlap because I've recently been watching 2005 Raw and SmackDown and the pay-per-views and everything. And like we're just now seeing Muhammad Hassan. So seeing Daivari, 10 years apart and like seeing him, okay, now he's bald and jacked and blah, blah, blah. And in this, he's like relatively a skinny wimp and he's just a manager. It's such a fun contrast,
Now, it was funny because Muhammad Hassan's career was ruined because of all that terrorist stuff he was doing, right? How come?
Yes. Well, it was ruined by the fact that he did a quote-unquote terrorist attack on The Undertaker on SmackDown that happened to air on the same day of a London bombing.
It's weird that his career ended. I think maybe he just wanted it to end because Daivari was in Ring of Honor a few years ago.
Yeah. Daivari's been all over, man. Like he went to TNA, went to Ring of Honor, Lucha Underground. He's been back in TNA. Yeah.
I mean, I think he's doing all right for himself.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, like Daivari's just beating the crap out of Tejano, throws him into that pile of chairs. Eventually, like just throws him back into the ring, and that leads to the elimination of whole ass Cowboy Machines, and I feel like they're no more.
Yeah, that was probably, and this is the weird part, is the crowd was into it. They loved watching Daivari beat the crap out of Tejano. Now, in your mind, does that say more about how much Tejano sucks, or about how good Daivari is? Because that image that he had from WWE, that's kind of hard to get rid of. That's why Muhammad Hassan's not around.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things of like, I think the Temple was legit just like so shocked that like, even though like if you got a close look, because he was in glasses for the most time, so they did kind of try to go incognito with him. But if you got a close enough look, it was Daivari. But even then, the Temple was still like, the reaction was like, "Oh my God, this guy was in the crowd. And he's beating the crap out of him. Holy hell!" So I think that may have been where the reaction came from. I don't think it was from Daivari himself because, like, I mean, Daivari's fine, but like, he's never really done a lot to stand out for me anyway.
Nor for anybody. Yeah, I think anyone that didn't know he was a wrestler, seeing him in the crowd, and even especially when Matt Striker was like, the Temple brings all kinds to the Temple. I think if you didn't know, then you probably think wrestling is still real.
That's fair. That's fair. Oh, and at some point during all that nonsense, Ivelisse fucked up her ankle.
I have 2 points about that. It's like, I don't know if you noticed, but she was kind of limping on her way to the ring.
Oh, I didn't notice that. No.
I have a theory that her ankle was broken going into this match, and that's why it didn't seem like they were scrambling to do spots. It probably got worse as the match went on, but she was limping on her way down. As she was walking out, she was just kind of limping, and they didn't have the camera on her to watch her going down the stairs. I think they knew about it. I think they planned around it successfully.
Yeah, that's fair.
The other thing was early in the match, there was actually a spot where Brian Cage he did a double suplex on Killshot and Angelico. And I don't know if you noticed it, but he started to waver to one side, Angelico's side. He almost dropped them. But Killshot, being the professional he is, he actually reached his hand across and stopped Angelico's body from falling forward. And all Cage had to do was twist a little bit, and he was able to save the suplex. It's kind of a crazy spot.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Oh my God. Oh, at one point, Stryker asked Vampiro for like, "Hey, between these two teams, who's winning?" And Vamp tries to cop out, says, "I think the fans." And Stryker, he calls him out. He says, "Are you running for prime minister? Give me a straight answer." And Vamp immediately says, "I'll take Big Rick." So he had to pull it out of him, but Vampiro was on the side of Big Rick and company, and I don't blame him. But as it turns out, he was wrong. Like somehow, some way, Team Havoc wins this match. Follow the Angel on kill shot, and Angelico gets the win.
That and Angelico did the craziest looking buckle bomb on kill shot, I believe.
Yes.
And this is one of those things again where the finish is so good that you don't look weak losing to it. Like it looked like it sucked, and you know, even though they lost to the underdogs, it didn't even make Killshot, the person who took the pin, look weak. It looked like the kind of finisher where like it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter how well you've been doing. You get hit by it, you're done. It was a great buckle bomb, and you know, my only problem with this match, and it was also the same kind of problem, the small nitpicking problem, is that it was 90% offense from Killshot's team, and then 100% of Angelico taking all the offense, and just never quitting. They kind of almost did it to make up for Angelico being a geek for the last however weeks he's been on the show, months. Like he's been portrayed as a geek, because this was kind of his redemption, was him surviving this gauntlet almost.
Yeah, well, that's not his main redemption. His main redemption would come later on in the series, but as it turns out, the show's not over. Dario Cueto comes out of his office as the crowd celebrating, along with Havoc and Ivelisse and Angelico. And I love that the look on Dario's face, like he looked shocked. Like he did not expect this would work out whatsoever. Like, oh my God, this team of 3 people who absolutely despise each other, a former couple are on this team, and somehow they won the tournament. They won their qualifier and they won the elimination match to win the title, or so we thought.
Dario is a good actor, the guy that plays him.
Yes,
who would have
Luis
thunk
Fernandez Gil.
He's great.
Absolutely. You know, he had a bit part on It's Always Sunny in like maybe like season 11 or something.
Yeah, he was a doctor. I remember that scene.
Yes. Because it was around the same time as Lucha Underground. So I was kind of like, wow, that's cool. But proving once again, as we all know, the first and so far only commandment of Lucha Underground, Dario Cueto is a dick. He congratulates Team Havoc. And then so I was like, well, you won the match, but you didn't win the titles yet, because there's one more team in this tournament, and I handpicked them. And you know what? Just to make it, even more interesting, we're going to have a no DQ match, and out comes the Crew.
Yeah, this was a good way to get heat on the Crew and Dario, but also I think this adds to the redemption, and it makes them look because they're going through a gauntlet this episode. This makes them look like they damn well deserve those titles. Not like they managed to steal them, but the next time they're still underdogs. This makes them look like these belts were made for them, just by being able to endure all this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I noticed, because this last match was the true main event, the unadvertised main event, was rather short, but a lot of it was Ivelisse playing the face in peril.
She was, because her ankle was just so shot at this point. And you got to give Lucha Underground credit. They don't give up on people just because they're moderately injured. They're still trying to have her go out there, and they could have easily just passed on this trios team, but they saw something in them, and considering she's injured, she did fine. She did great. I mean, a lot of heart, because she's standing on this damn ankle that's made of glass.
Yeah, she's a one-legged woman in an ass-kicking contest, and it shows, because 90% of this match is just the Crew dominating them and beating the crap out of them. And at one point, Bale takes Angelico to the roof, leaves him there. Son of Havoc is brawling along the guardrail with Cisco, who does a suplex from the rail to the floor to him, and they're just getting the crap beaten out of him.
And he botched that suplex too.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Ivelisse was like barely kicking her leg at one point, and eventually she's alone in the ring. She's getting choked out by Castro, and Stryker's doing his best job so far. He's selling just how hopeless the situation is. And all of a sudden, out of fucking nowhere, from the heavens, the dive and Helico from the roof of Dario Cueto's office onto the crew, dispersing the Rudos, just taking care of them in one fell swoop. It was wild.
Dude, I think that spot he jumped from, I think that's actually above Dario's office.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
It's a crazy sick dive. I mean, I think he's lucky they caught him because
it's a simple crossbody, but it was so awesome.
Yeah, because he didn't just fall. Like sometimes when you see people climb high spots, they just fall with their dive, their jump.
Yeah.
And I'm scared of heights, so you won't even see me get that high. But like he launches, like he gets up in the air and then lands. Like you kind of like, here's the thing, like it's not only is it a dangerous dive, but he had to be able to look at it and see, like controlling how far your jump goes, right? He had to control being able to make it that far and not overshoot. Like there's a lot of technical parts of this that could have gone very badly, but
there is a huge margin of error.
Yeah, like I mean, because how often do you practice jumping? I don't know. I'm not good at distances at all. Would you say that's like 30 feet above the ring?
Highly probably, yeah.
Let's say 30. I don't think I'm being hyperbolic at all. But like you have to jump towards the ring because it's not directly over the ring. It's like adjacent to it.
Yeah,
like it's really adjacent. It's in the corner of the temple, off to the side. So he had to clear a lot of distance with that dive.
Yeah.
And hit two people that are kind of small for wrestlers.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
And make sure he didn't hit Ivelisse on the way down. Like,
it's crazy. Yeah, a lot of margin for error. Oh, man. After this dive, Ivelisse takes the kendo sticks and swings away, man. And Helico, Son of Havoc, eventually get up. They both hit the corners. Ivelisse at this point is directing traffic, waving them up to the top turnbuckle. Son of Havoc hits a shooting star press, and Helico hits a Warrior's Way foot stomp. Son of Havoc gets the pin and the win. Oh my God, Team Havoc beat not one, not two, but three teams tonight to become the inaugural Lucha Underground Trios champions. This is amazing.
You know, something you just said also point out was the first time Ivelisse was giving instructions and it was correct and it didn't interfere. So like they grew as a team just overall.
Yeah. So you remember, this was probably a couple months back now. I said like, hey, watch how this story goes. It's going to end beautiful. It's going to get to a point where it's beautiful and you may even cry. This was that moment.
Did you cry truly again?
I didn't. I almost did. Bitch. I was too tired.
I was hoping you'd say yes.
Man. No. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. And Matt Stryker was doing his damnedest again, putting over like, hey, no one believed in these guys, and they're still here. And they've excelled. It's truly remarkable.
This was lightning in a bottle because not only did the commentary team, and this is why we've been so critical of them in the earlier episodes, is because this is where we kind of started the show, and they're just on fire, and Vampiro's there. But and then the team, like the redemption storyline, like everything they were bad at, they got good at. They got good at working as a team. And Helico stopped being a dick and actually saved Ivelisse. As an actual gentleman, as opposed to as scumbag.
An actually like a chivalrous gentleman. That's a great character evolution.
They all evolve, and I would say even Havoc evolved the most simply. He just got good. He got good. But even the double finish at the end, where he does the shooting star and he does the double foot stomp, the ref they both went for the pin, just for the visual picture of it. The crew are a bunch of geeks.
They are, but they came in fresh as a daisy against a team who just went to war.
It just makes them more of geeks. And I bet you if I were Dario, I'd make one of them pay.
Why'd you have to say that, Greg?
I don't know. I'd be pissed, man. Like they can't put away, a girl with a broken ankle that went through a match, and two other geeks that were just murdered by Big Rick The Mac,
Yeah.
a guy called the Mac. It's called the Mac,
Yes.
like a Mac truck. And a guy
Yes.
called Killshot. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and you deal with a machine, not even a person, a machine.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yes.
a guy that's literal hunter who hunts people. The most
Yeah.
dangerous game, man.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hunt people. So they're geeks.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely, they are. And we'll see where things go from there. But I mean, this was one of the most wholesome moments in Lucha Underground history. Wouldn't you agree?
God, it's one of the few.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, oh my God. A lot of Lucha Underground is just like almost misery porn. But this is like full blown Sophie's Choice misery porn, but this is just amazing and wonderful. And the good guys won against all odds. The good guys won, man. This is, when you tell your kids you can be anything, anything you set your mind to, you can do it. This is the type of moment that you cite and say, hey, you can do it too. If by God, if Evil Lise can win the trios title on one leg, you can run this marathon or whatever.
That's not, and this was real. Her ankle was really hurt. There was a part where when they win the titles, Havoc goes to hug her, like because he's just in the moment, and
Yeah.
she falls and he just walks away, like he's done with her. Like he kicked her to the curb,
Yeah.
but and I think in character she was just kind of like, God damn it, because she was
Yeah.
in pain, and there was even a few moves where like they went to grab the leg and she was wincing.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the guy? Not Cisco, not Bale. Castro was biting her on the forehead because he couldn't do much of her. You couldn't pick her up and you couldn't slam her. So he's choking her, he's stomping on her. They, as heels, they have to go for the leg, and I think maybe they didn't know where her injury exactly was when she went into it. I think she went in with a minor injury that turned into a worse injury.
That makes sense.
I felt bad for her, man, and that kind of helped add to her because I think everyone knew that she was injured and they were rooting for her. Like she had that injured, like when they worked the leg, her leg was really hurt.
Yeah, exactly. Just wonderful, truly wonderful.
I guess there was no ending. There was no ending scene, so I guess we could.
Nope.
Didn't
need one.
Unless you wanted to add more to the show, I guess we could review it.
Yeah, no, I guess we can give our letter grade, and I would give this I was so close to giving this an A, but I got to give it a B plus purely because that Black Lotus vignette was so lame.
I have to give it an A because it is a titular episode, and that you can skip that opening segment. I mean, I had a problem with the Sexy Star match just because I think it was a mistake to give Penta an L.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
I mean, like I get it. It'll pay off. It'll be fine.
But, and not only that, like it extends the story.
It does. I'm trying to grade things in a vacuum, but also I'm trying to eat my cake and have my cake and eat it too because I want to view it in a vacuum, but I also can't. I also need to think about future episodes so I grade accurately.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll give it an A minus.
Okay. All right, that's fair. That's fair. But man, what an episode. What a moment. And it only gets better from here.
This was yeah, we keep cutting each other off. We're gonna have to go back into the temple, learn how to work together.
Yeah, we'll have to go to the McDojo.
There we go. If we have enough money, we can buy our belts.
Yes, exactly. Oh man. So what else can the people listen to on the Social Suplex Podcast Network, Gregory?
Now, I was just gonna say, watch our other shows, because maybe we don't name them all. Just watch our other shows. We got like 7. They're all great. We cover all the wrestling promotions. Even 8-Bit Suplex covers video games too.
Yeah.
One Nation Radio covers other sports as well. Politics too sometimes. Or current events maybe. It's better way to phrase it. Keeping a strong style, covering New Japan. We have Great Match Generator.
Have a show from Great Match Generator. That's a good one. as the name kind of suggests, they generate great matches and they watch them and review them. We even have a couple of buddies from across the pond that do a show, Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show. Truly great stuff. Great guys, too.
Yep. And All Things Elite with Lloyd. Did you know? I didn't know I got in first place, but I got in first place for the AEW contest on his show.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? So,
yeah.
What did you win?
$100 gift certificate to AEW shop.
Oh man, I'm sorry you have to use it on AEW shop.
Dude, I got their joggers. I got
Yeah.
their joggers. I got a pin that's a replica of the heavyweight belt.
Okay.
And I got another hoodie too, because I can never have enough hoodies.
Yeah, because all your hoes are stealing them from you.
I wish.
Oh man, I'm sorry I said hose. I'll never do that again. God. All Things Elite. Oh, grown men watch this shit. That's indie stuff. Great show. Great show.
Don't think we missed anybody.
If we did, I sincerely apologize.
Wait,
I'm
DJ does
convinced we-
2 shows? Does DJ do 2 shows?
Does he still do Get in the Ring? Or is he retired that one?
I don't remember.
Well, it's in the archives, folks. You can listen to the old stuff for sure. If not, we'll blame Greg. We'll say Greg made the mistake here. Wow. Yeah, I think that's it. I think we can get out of here.
Word.
Yeah.
You got to do
Folks,
your catchphrase.
Yeah, of course I do. Come on now. It's part of the gimmick.
If you don't do your catchphrase, there will be grave consequences.
No. Damn it. Don't you dare. You know, some people might tell you dreams don't come true. Those people, like lots of people, they'd be wrong. And sometimes when you're wrong, there's only grave consequences.